In this episode 12 of The Daily Hustle, we talk about building systems that are going to make money for your business so you don't have to be there every single day. Also, we talk about why doctors are killing you.
Broadcasting from the box that rocks and Thrive15.com world headquarters, it's The Daily Hustle with Daniel McKenna.
What is going on, guys? Daniel McKenna over here, Marshall Morris over here. This is episode 12 of The Daily Hustle. This one's a very special one. We're going to get on some live, I guess it's actually the opposite of live. It's recorded footage, but it was on live site at Z's Auto Auction. Super excited to show you that here in just a second. If you guys don't know who we are, I'm Daniel McKenna, a co-founder of Epic Productions and Thrive15.com. That is Marshall Morris. He is an author, the founder of Madness Media, and a consultant here at Thrive15. One of the business coaches here. Marshall, glad to have you here again.
I'm excited to be here.
I feel like today is going to be one of the best episodes we have.
Really?
Based on the notes that we have and everything compiled. I'm excited about it. But
you feel good?
I feel great about it.
Okay.
But basically, in this episode, we are going to lay out the process by which you can create a business, and not just a self-employment. It's going to make money for you whether you're there or not. It's a pretty cool deal. So if you got into business to experience more time freedom than a traditional job, instead of less time freedom than a traditional job, because now you have to work 80 hours a week to, keep paying the bills and stuff like that, you're going to want to watch this. This is going to be huge for you. I'm very excited about this. Marshall, go ahead and read us real quick before we dive into the footage, the business versus self-employment sort of definition here, the loose definition.
Is this the manifesto?
This is the manifesto.
Okay.
Yeah.
So business versus self-employment. It's very important, if you want to have your own business, to understand the difference between business and self-employment. Self-employment is basically a job, and the only difference is that you no longer have a boss. You are both the boss and the employee.
So if that's you right now, and I would guess that's the majority of business owners in America, is they're self-employed. They're the boss and they're the employee. They quit working a 9-to-5 career, and now they work a 7-to-7 career, of which they have to be there. They don't get, more vacation time.
Yeah. You set your own hours.
You get to set your own hours.
Yeah, that's right.
You get to call your own shots.
Yeah.
But also, you probably work more than you did before.
Yeah.
And you probably have less time freedom than what you did before, and you probably got into it because you wanted more time freedom than you had before.
That's right.
Or you wanted to make more money than you did before.
You haven't moved ahead.
You've not moved ahead yet.
Right.
This episode's all about moving you ahead. Let's go on to Z's Auto Auction. What's up, guys? Daniel McKenna here on this episode of The Daily Hustle. We're going to go behind the scenes at Dr. Z's Auto Auction, give you a behind-the-scenes tour to show you how checklists and workflows can build systems that will help you make money in your business without you personally working. Yeah, kind of cool deal. That's where we're going, folks. Look at all those cars. We're going to sell them.
Loved you in a place where there was no space and time. Yeah, we came alive. I was told in a cry when we kissed.
I don't think he likes that we're here. We're going to go out on the auction floor. We're going to sell literally hundreds and hundreds of cars here in the next hour or so. It's crazy. Let's go check it out. Follow me. Now, if you see all these cars being pulled up, check out these cars that are being pulled up. And you see how fast they're rolling through these lanes. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes that are rolling. Cars are being sold literally within 30 seconds of each other, and then the next car's on the block. You can probably hear the auctioneer right now rolling through those cars, talking faster than I can. going right now. You see all 5 of these lanes? We're just going to show them all 5. There's 5 lanes going, and look at these lines of cars down here. Bam, 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 bam. Look at all these people that are here pulling up cars, getting them in lines, selling these cars in like 30 seconds at a time in 5 different lanes. So we're talking about 5 cars every 30 seconds. It's absolutely crazy. Show them all the cars out here. In the garage is about an hour and a half of craziness that you saw in here. Obviously it's shut down now. They're already done, sold a ton of cars. Another hugely successful day. Let's talk about some of those checklists and workflows that they use to pull this whole thing off. As you saw there, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. It was very cool being there. Very cool seeing it all happen. The process and the speed at which everything happened. And the one thing you might notice from that footage, Marshall, Z was not there.
No, he wasn't. He was absent.
He also had multiple locations of his optometry clinic going at the same time.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he was there. He also had his ranch. I don't think he was there. His sleep center. Pretty sure he wasn't there. I could go on and on. There's at least 2 more things that I'm forgetting about off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
And if you went into those businesses day to day, most likely you would not see him. And they are making him money. That's awesome.
It's pretty freaking awesome.
That's pretty freaking awesome. So if you are getting into business to try to make money and have time freedom, that's what this episode is all about. So let's jump into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get on a notepad or pull out a Google Doc, maybe a side monitor or something, get this stuff ready. And from the very beginning, you're going to start putting out these into sections, okay? Because we got sections here for you. You want to take some notes. This is going to be really big for you. And we're going to start from before the interaction with your product or your service.
Okay.
Before you're actually, so let's say I'm a carpet cleaner. We're going to start before I'm actually cleaning the carpet. Marshall, why are we not starting with cleaning the carpet? Why are we starting before that?
Well, before is because the experience starts before then. Their interaction with your brand happens even before you even have customers, before they even fill out a lead.
So if the only thing I got really, really good at was cleaning the carpet, is it possible for me to still fail miserably in my business?
Yeah. You don't sell anything.
Oh, the sales word.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep coming back to if you don't have sales, you will fail.
If you don't have sales, you will fail from Marshall Morris. Okay, so break this up into these sections here. Got 6 sections here for you. 1, before your customer interacts with you or knows who you are. 2, prepping for the customers. 3, the first time your customer interacts with you. 4, performing the service or giving them the product. So that's number 4. That's number 4. It's not the first thing you worry about. That's number 4. Number 5, after the service or the product. And 6, how are you getting that customer back into your store or back into your service? So those are the 6 steps. And while you're going through and doing this, I want you to write it all out while you are doing this. Put like a check mark or highlight the section that while you're writing out the processes that needs a checklist. That needs a checklist. I want you to highlight it or do it. Okay, so we're not building the checklist right now. The point is to get it all laid out, but highlight where you do need to go back and build a checklist. I mean, we're going to create like at least a week's worth of work for you here with just this episode. But it's going to be huge for you. Okay, so Marshall Morris, go ahead and jump into number 1 and then give me the quote.
Okay, so number 1 is before your customer interacts with you. This part of the process, okay? This part of the workflow. So Steve Jobs says, get closer than ever to your customers. So close that you tell them what they need well before they realize it themselves.
I'm going to get so close to my customers.
Oh, yeah.
That I'm going to know what they need before I hear from them.
Mm-hmm.
That's Steve Jobs. Okay, so if that's you at home, where are your customers? How are you going to reach them? Okay. Are you going to reach them with Facebook ads? Maybe an ad in the paper or TV? Maybe you're going to cold call some businesses. Maybe you'll have a connection with somebody that can introduce you to people. How are you going to get those customers? Now, the first 10 or so, Gary Vaynerchuk, first 10 or so, you just have to hustle because you have no reputation. You have nothing to fall back on. You just have to hustle. Maybe you have to got to do it for free. Maybe your first 10 you do for free, so then you have a library of stuff to refer to. Said, we did this for this person. They were happy. We did this for this person. They loved it. But how are you going to get your customers in the door? Maybe you've already been operating. Maybe you already have people that are finding you. How are you going to find more people? Where are your customers? Are they on Facebook? If they are, maybe Facebook ads are a great way to go. You can segment who it is you're advertising to. We have a lot of success with Facebook ads here with our clients. A lot of success. Maybe your clients aren't on Facebook. Well, then Facebook ads aren't good for you. You've got to know who your customers are. Do you have any examples of that, Marshall? Maybe of somebody that you've worked with that they say, okay, this is my service, and I don't know how to get more people in the door. And then you're like, okay, so who's buying from you? Who is it that's buying from you? So we can then start deciding how we're going to reach them.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Give me one.
So specifically Delrick Research, we've mentioned them before.
Yeah.
They specifically found that the people that were applying for them for their clinical research studies, those people were signing up. And so the patients that were signing up were spending a lot of time on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. So we cranked up their Facebook ads. We got a ton more patients.
That's weird.
Yeah. So
they found out where their patients were, where their clients were.
Mm-hmm.
They found out our clients are finding us on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put a lot more money into Facebook.
Mm-hmm. And
now their business is going whoop.
That's right.
And now their next problem is solving how are we going to deal with all these customers coming in. It's a good problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great problem to have. Maybe you need to run a promotion. Maybe you need to run a special promotion to get more people in the door. Maybe something you haven't done before. Tulsa Oilers, minor league hockey team. We've mentioned them before on the show. They've got a current promotion going. This is how insane the promotion is. It doesn't even make sense until you get into it. 10 tickets for $10.
There you go.
10 tickets for $10.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that seems like an insane promotion. You would never make money with that promotion. Oh, wait, but part of the process is, well, that's, you get there. Those are kind of the worst seats in the house. You want to see some good seats. If you want to get up front, if you want to really see what's going on, if you really want to get the experience, just upgrade another $5, another $7 here, another $10 here. Oh, and by the way, we've got concessions here. We've got a discount on some popcorn, some ice cream, right? They're getting people in the door who are then spending more money because they're like, I was basically getting in here for free. People that wouldn't have come otherwise.
Mm-hmm. What's
funny about that is they actually could not keep this week's meeting, this week's coaching meeting, because they literally had so many sales. They didn't have people they weren't prepared for it. They didn't have people ready for the processes with all that amount of sales coming in.
It's a lot of sales.
They're just killing it with that promotion.
They have a lot of sales, so they are not fails.
They are not fails because they have sales.
There you go.
So where are your customers? How are you going to reach them? Do you need a promotion to get them in the door so you can sell them more later? You got to figure that out. That's step one. Step two, again, be writing out next to this. If you need a checklist for this part, highlight it or check mark or something. Come back and build the checklist. Step two, prepping for the customers. Marshall, read me the two quotes here. We've got one from Mark Cuban and one from Michael Levine talking about prepping for the customers.
Okay, first one from Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Actually grew and sold a number of online businesses.
Yep.
Became very wealthy and has now become an investor
Yes.
for a number of different businesses across the country. He says, make your product easier to buy than your competition, where you will find your customers buying from them and not you.
I don't think that's something a lot of businesses think about.
Yeah.
Making it easy.
Mm-hmm.
They'll spend a lot of time on the design. They'll spend a lot of time on what that actually does.
Right.
They'll spend a lot of time on, okay, I've got to sell it for this price to be able to make this much money. But how frequently, for instance, this is a perfect example. Quick Trip. Here in Tulsa, Quick Trip is king. Why? Because people like to go to Quick Trip. Are there other gas stations? Yes, hundreds.
A lot of other ones.
Hundreds. There's a lot of Texacos. There's a lot of Shells.
Do you still go to Texaco?
I drive past every Texaco possible.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a Texaco.
I drive past every Shell station possible
Okay, I drive past Shell.
to go to the Quick Trip.
Oh, yeah. Only Quick Trip.
Where I know I'm going to receive basically the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact goods.
Yep.
Why?
They're nicer.
It's clean. It's nicer. It's easy. And it makes it worth it for me to drive past their competitors and go to them.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me the Michael Levine here, because we're talking a little bit about Quick Trip being better than other gas stations. So I think this Michael Levine part, I think this works too.
Okay, so Michael Levine, Thrive 15 mentor, PR consultant for Michael Jackson, Nike, Pizza Hut, Cameron
Prince.
Diaz, Prince,
Multiple presidents.
multiple Grammy Award winners. It's incredible.
It seems insane just saying that.
Yeah.
And it's true.
And he is
Multiple best-selling author.
he wrote Guerrilla PR 2.0.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what he says about the Tiffany box theory. Tiffany box theory. He says, if you give someone a present and you give it to them in a Tiffany box, it's likely that they'll believe that the gift has a higher perceived value than if you gave it to them in a no box or a box of less prestige. That's not because the receiver of the gift is a fool, but instead because we live in a culture in which we gift wrap everything. Our politicians, our corporate heads, our movie and TV stars, and even our toilet paper. Tiffany box theory, Dan.
So if you're a dude and you don't know what Tiffany jewelry is, we'll go ahead and explain that to you. Tiffany jewelry.
And you had better learn.
You had better learn. You had better learn for down the road. Marshall, where would you rank Tiffany jewelry? Being that you're a dude, and so you only know third party here. Where would you rank Tiffany jewelry versus I don't know, the jewelry you can get at Walmart where you kind of put the quarter in, you turn the thing, the jewelry comes out.
I would put Tiffany jewelry here.
Yeah.
And Walmart turnkey jewelry here.
Okay, so if you're listening to the podcast, his first hand was much higher than his second hand.
I just wanted to make sure I want to incentivize people to watch.
What about I don't know. I'm blanking on other brands that I don't want to like insult. So what about normal? We'll say brand A. We'll say brand A.
Okay.
Brand A versus Tiffany. General.
Big box retailer.
Big box retailer versus Tiffany.
Okay.
You get your girl jewelry from Big Box A, or it comes in the Tiffany box.
Yeah.
Which one has more value?
The Tiffany box.
Well, they haven't even looked at the jewelry yet. They don't know.
Well, they know.
They know.
They know.
That's what Michael Levine's talking about. He's saying that the brand of Tiffany is so good that they see that box. It's nicely wrapped. It's in a certain shade that they specifically chose because ladies like that shade. It's weird. Targeting. It's weird. It's the specific shade, specific box. The experience is a specific way that when you see that box, you're already more excited without ever seeing the product than you would be in a normal generic box. And then if you opened it up and it was the same exact thing in both boxes, you would assume the stuff in the Tiffany box was worth a lot more than the stuff in the other box. That's what we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Your experience has to be so good that it's worth you or worth me, I'm the customer, driving past your competitors to go to you because I like your experience more. Okay, so you're prepping for the customers. So is your shop clean? Is your technology working? Is your website working? Is your website displaying current information? Are your scripts ready? Are your phone scripts ready? Do we have some sort of FAQs? Do we know how we're going to handle certain situations that come up? Bad things that come up. Quick Trip. One of the icy machines is down. And it's just spilling and leaking all over the floor. What are we going to do? Or maybe we get an influx of people, and there's somebody back there that's cooking stuff, and there's somebody over here shelving stuff. We have an influx of people. How are we going to quickly alert everybody that they need to get up front? They've thought all these things through. Thus, the experience I go there is pretty much the same every time and pretty much awesome every time. And that's why we keep going to them.
Consistent.
So you're prepping for your customers. You've already figured out how I'm going to get more customers. Now you have to figure out what are the things I need to do to make my experience feel more like Tiffany box and less like big box generic store. I've got some stuff on the shelf. You can buy it if you want. Okay, so that was number 2. Marshall, hit me with number 3, and then the quote from Jeff Bezos here.
Okay, number 3 is the first time your customer interacts with you. Okay, so Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon.com.
Maybe you've heard of it.
Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you've done all your Christmas shopping on it.
I did probably 90% of my Christmas shopping on Amazon.com.
Okay, this is what he says.
Yeah.
We see our customers as invited guests to a party, and we are the hosts. It's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience a little bit better.
Multi-billion-dollar company here.
Yeah.
Saying that it's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience a little bit better. Every day. So every day they're spending time figuring out how can we make this easier? How can we make this better? How can we make it to where people want to buy stuff from us and not from the other guy? Because Amazon sells a lot of stuff that a lot of other people sell. And most likely, almost for sure, you sell a lot of stuff that other people sell. How are you going to make that experience better? How are they going to buy from you and not buy from your competition? Okay. So what is that experience like? What is that like when they get there? When they get to your store? When they get to your website? When they get to your app? Whatever it is. What is that experience like? Is it easy? Is it enjoyable? Is it stressful? Put yourselves in the shoes of the customer, or do some. It's not called undercover shopping. What's it called?
Mystery shopping.
Mystery shopping.
Did you know? I didn't know this, but we were talking about it on one of the radio shows. I was on the radio show with Clay, and Z's been mystery shopping Thrive 15.
Really?
I just learned this the other day when he was talking about it.
So the CEO of the company is mystery shopping his own company?
He had one of his friends come in for business coaching, and I took him through an evaluation.
Yeah.
And Z's telling me this on the show, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
He's spying on you.
Yeah.
So explain to them the concept of the mystery shopper.
Mystery shopper is just basically a hired client that has been charged with providing feedback for detailed feedback on a particular service or the product or the experience. Okay. And you do that to be able to measure and hold people accountable to the service experience that you're expecting.
And you also find out the real deal of how it actually goes down.
Yeah. And so rather than like a CEO, it's this whole premise behind Undercover Boss.
Yeah.
Okay. Is you really see down in the trenches how it operates and how it works.
I love it. Okay. So what is that experience like? If you don't know, or even if you think you do know, you probably should do some mystery shopping. Find out for sure. This is what it actually goes down. This is what it's actually like. Okay. You need to make that better every day. If you make that better every day, people continue to wanting to buy from you. Huh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4 is sponsored by the Checklist Manifesto. Atul Gawande, the author, Checklist Manifesto. Marshall starts purring a little bit when he starts talking about checklists.
That's right.
And I wanted to make sure this part was sponsored by the Checklist Manifesto here. Great book. If you have not read that book, go read that book. Marshall, how much has this book impacted you specifically? You've read dozens to actually literally hundreds of books. We talked about it on the show. You've read hundreds of books.
Hundreds.
Where would you put this in? How much this has impacted you business wise?
On a scale of 1 to spiritually, I would say very emotionally.
Wow. I mean, I don't fully understand your grading system, but that sounds very important.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to spiritually, very emotional is where Checklist Manifesto has hit Marshall. Okay. So Marshall, give them number 4 and then give them the quote here, and then we'll get into it.
Okay. Number 4 is performing the service and giving them the product. So whatever it is, performing the service, giving them the product. This is what Atul Gawande says in the Checklist Manifesto. Good checklists, on the other hand, are precise. They are efficient, to the point, and easy to use even in the most difficult situations. They do not try to spell out everything. A checklist cannot fly a plane. Instead, they provide reminders of only the most critical and important steps, the ones that even the highly skilled professional using them could miss. Good checklists, above all, are practical.
This is where you start getting into I don't have to be there every day. I don't have to necessarily be the one that answers every phone call or performs every service. Or if you've got good workflows, which we're getting into today, building out those workflows, and then you have checklists for those workflows, and then you hire good people and you train good people and they can follow those checklists, holy crap, Marshall, I don't actually have to be there today. Now, maybe I'm not at the level where I want to be yet, so I want to be there every day. I want to put in those 80-hour weeks because I'm growing. I want to grow. That's probably the majority of everybody here. But the point is that one day, at some point, you want to not have to be there. You want to have options. And if your checklists are good enough and the people you hire are good enough, you do not necessarily have to be there. Wow. That's weird, Marshall. Started a business and I don't have to, be my business's slave? That's weird.
Bang, bang.
We're only grazing over this. We'll probably do an episode fully on checklists, honestly. We'll probably have a checklist.
Likely.
Yeah, most likely we'll do one just completely on checklist, but just getting down to, the importance of this. You know how people regularly go to the hospital? It's a thing. It's a life thing.
Well, I don't regularly go to the hospital, but
your dad's a doctor.
But people on the whole, yes.
Yeah, your dad's a doctor.
Yes.
And we know there's lots of hospitals. We know there's lots of doctors.
Yeah, that's
this
right.
happens. Okay. A study in the current issue of the Journal of Patient Safety says between 210 and 440,000 patients each year who go to the hospital for care suffer from some type of preventable harm that contributes to their death.
It's a lot of people.
Wait. Between 200 and 400,000 people per year go to the hospital to get right, and something goes wrong at the hospital, and that's what kills them? You know how crazy that is? That would make medical errors the third leading cause of death in America, behind heart disease and behind cancer. The third most likely reason you're going to die prematurely is because something went wrong with the hospital. That's the most insane thing ever. Okay, so Atul Gawande, he's a doctor. He started studying this stuff. He was like, this is the worst thing ever. And I mean, it's pretty bad.
That's why I started studying it.
That's why I started studying
This
it.
is quite honestly the worst thing ever.
This is quite honestly the worst thing ever. We're doctors and we're killing people all the time. Now, doctors do help a ton of people, but apparently infections and these sort of things go wrong. Okay, so he started studying how they could implement checklists. He had a 19-step checklist. If you read the checklist manifesto, you read all about this. 19-step checklist for doing the simple things that a professional can handle.
Okay.
Washing your hands.
Okay.
Prepping the, I was going to call them utensils. They're not utensils.
Yeah,
Tools.
Surgical utensils.
Prepping them, getting them clean, getting everything laid out, getting your stuff ready, having the people that are supposed to be there be there. The checklist. Stuff that, it's not teaching the doctor how to do surgery. The doctor's already skilled. The doctor already knows how to do surgery. It's the stuff that you would easily skip over if there was not the checklist.
Mm-hmm.
The study began in the spring of 2008, and the results were...
When?
Whoa.
When was this?
2008.
How long ago? This isn't like the 50s. I'm just having a big problem with my microphone right now.
Correct. It was in the 50s. It was recent. 2008.
This was like less than 10 years ago. Less than a decade ago.
2008.
Yeah, okay.
Results were startling. This is after they implemented these checklists at these 8 hospitals.
Yeah.
Without adding a single piece of equipment or spending an extra dollar, all 8 hospitals saw the rate of major post-surgical complications drop by 36% in the 6 months after the checklists were introduced. Deaths fell by 47%.
It's 2008.
They cut in half the amount of people that were dying in surgery from surgery complications because of a checklist.
Oh, yeah.
Because of a 19-step checklist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that could affect your business?
My business is much more complicated than surgery.
But, again, this checklist isn't meant to teach the doctor how to do surgery. He's not sitting there with Google open saying, all right, I cut that thing. Now what?
This can't possibly apply.
Spread the hang on. Wait for it. Hang on. My Wi-Fi's not loading. Hang on. No, I get it. He's dying on the table. But hang on. I'm looking this up on Google. That's not what's happening. These are simple steps that would be easily overlooked. Processes that have to happen. If these are some of the most trained professionals in the world, doctors, people that have been going to school from 8 years to 20 years to figure this stuff out, and simple checklists help them out, most likely it's going to help your business out too. And also, if you don't have checklists, you probably won't ever be able to quit working at your business.
Some people want to do that.
Hey, if you want to do that, that's cool. I doubt they're still watching this episode.
That's probably true.
If you want to eventually not work in your business, you got to have these workflows and you got to have checklists. Okay, that was part number 4, sponsored by Checklist Manifesto. Part number 5, this is almost checklist related. After the service and product, after you actually deliver the service, after you deliver the product, what happens? So for example, Z's Auto Auction, we watched footage of that. They've got to get titles transferred, which can take up to 30 days. Do you think there probably needs to be processes and checklists involved if you have to wait 30 days for someone to transfer a title?
Mm-hmm.
They've got to receive payment. Who's taking care of accounting? Who's signing off on the workflows you put in place? Is your pro forma ready? Is this bringing in this money in the door? Is it actually building your business? Does it make sense? Does the product work? What happens if a product doesn't work, if a service doesn't happen well? These are all the things you have to have already laid out so that you're not reactionary in your business and you spend every hour of your day like putting out fires. Okay? So after it all happens, step 5, what needs to happen? Think of every scenario, write out all those checklists. Be ready to go. Step 6. Marshall, read me step 6 and then the quote from Forbes.
Okay. Step number 6. How are you getting that customer back into your store or business?
And read for me the study here that's quoted in the Forbes.com article.
Forbes.com, and this is 5 customer retention tips for entrepreneurs. It reads, a 5% increase in customer retention can increase a company's profitability by 75%.
What?
75%.
75.
75.
A 5% increase in customer retention.
Yeah.
Why is that, Marshall?
Because it costs less to retain a customer than it does to acquire a new customer.
Significantly less.
A lot less.
If I had never gone to a Quick Trip and experienced the good things about Quick Trip, how many ad dollars does Quick Trip have to spend to get me to start coming to Quick Trip?
About 137.
Marshall knows the numbers. I'm impressed.
No, I have no idea.
But now I'm a stranger, right? I have no experience. I have no relation to the business. You know how much work is going to go into trying to get me to come in their door?
A lot.
To experience it?
Yeah.
Now, with gas stations, it's a convenience thing. They pay a lot of money to be on street corners, so then eventually I run into it because I got to get gas.
Mm-hmm.
But
and they siphon out all of your gas.
So they've been doing that for years. I knew it. But think about that. According to Forbes, a 5% increase in customer retention, meaning bringing customers back in, get 5% more people that are already using your stuff to come by and keep using your stuff, could increase a company's profitability by up to 75%. Now, depending on the industry, your numbers are going to be different. Maybe they're higher, maybe they're lower. But that's a big deal. Huge deal, okay? So step number 6, how are you getting those customers back in the door? Follow-up emails, phone calls, specials for return customers? Are you making the experience so good that they want to find out about the next one? How are you getting those people to come back?
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. Step 6, how are you getting those customers to come back into your store? Now, once you master these 6 things, you don't necessarily have to be there, Marshall. That's a pretty cool concept. A business that I can create and build and that I do not have to work in every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. That's cool. That's awesome. Those were the 6 steps here. The 6 steps. Again, build those checklists. How long is this going to take you to actually do and then build your business to a point where you don't have to be there? I don't know. Months? Years? A decade? Depends on how good you are. Depends on how much you're going to work. How hard are you going to work right now? How much time are you going to put into training those people? How much time are you going to put into building those checklists? How good are you at what you do? But this is how you're going to get there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Marshall, we never had any mojo yet. I mean,
No.
we sort of had some mojo from the auto auction. We had some mojo there.
I'm ready, though.
Give me some mojo.
I thought I was ready.
He thought he was ready.
Oh, come on,
We need to put mojo on the checklist.
I had it. I had it on.
Oh, there we go. Yes. All right. Daily wins of the week. Marshall, earlier footage showed a lot of auction callers. 10 out of 5, 8 out of 5, out of 5, out of 5, out of 10, out of 5, out of 10, 10 out of 5. I need you to introduce the daily wins of the week as if you were auctioning off the daily wins of the week.
This isn't a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
Can I do different music?
I mean, you were the one who chose this music.
I was looking for this one.
Okay.
I wasn't. I feel like
This is better auction music. Yeah, this is better auction music.
I couldn't do it to Marvin Gaye.
All right. So we've got a few here. Give me the daily wins of the week and then pick one of those. Oh, we already talked about that one. Pick one of those top two.
So am I announcing the daily wins and then giving them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a daily? Can I get a daily? Daily, you got a daily? Got a daily. Can I get a wins? Can a wins? Sam, I got a wins. I got a wins. And then Andrew, come on. I need wins of the week. We got wins of the week. Starting number 1, we got Bari Cookies. They are up 25%, opening another store in downtown Tulsa.
First of all, I'd just like to say that was awesome. That was pretty
That
great.
was by far the
That
best
was your best
impression
one
I've
for sure. That was your best one for sure. Absolutely. We might refer on that one more often.
Yeah, we might have to.
So Barbie Cookies, which we talked about in a previous episode, being up 25%. Not only are they up 25% in their current location, they're opening up another location.
That's pretty impressive.
That's awesome. When we started working with them, they're at one location. Strip mall, kind of hidden in the back of the strip mall.
Yeah.
Had to know where they were to go find them.
Mm-hmm.
Got them at a new location on a street front. Build up their systems, build up their checklists, build up all their cookie recipes. Profits are up 25%. Oh, what? Profits are up 25%? That means we can go build another one. Got another store coming in downtown Tulsa. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. We won't get into the next one yet. We'll save that one for next time. We'll save that one for next time. So that was Daily Wins of the Week. In case you do not know what we do, and in case you would like to find out more about what we do, building these workflows, building these systems so that your business can grow, and maybe you can open up a new location. I don't know. Maybe you could open up 4 more locations. Maybe you don't have to work in your business every single day. That's weird. That's what we do. Go to thrivetimeshow.com/workshops. thrivetimeshow.com/workshops. It's a 2-day, 16-hour business extravaganza that is going to be crazy huge for your business. It's going to be a really big deal. If you go to thrive15.com, fill out a business evaluation. Again, I'm not supposed to talk about this, but I'm going to keep talking about this. You're going to get that Thrive book for free, the ebook for free. We're not even supposed to give those away anymore. We did at one point. Not supposed to give those away anymore. But tell them the Hustle Show sent you, and we're going to make sure you get that for free. Okay? It's going to be huge for your business. So if you're wanting to grow your business in a crazy way, in the most valuable way I legitimately know of, like value-wise, like for your bang for your buck, this is it. Easy. Marshall's just staring at me like I'm prey. He's hiding in the woods. He's hiding in the woods, and he's some sort of wolf.
I left it all out on the field with that auctioneer impression.
That was good.
Well, not as good as your shirt.
Well, if you were a wolf in the woods, I would name you Doug, and that's kind of the feeling I had right there.
We
like
agreed.
a Doug the wolf, was just staring me down there at the end of this episode.
We agreed you wouldn't bring that up.
All right, so folks, that was episode 12, building systems that make money for your business, so you don't have to be a slave to your business. I don't know, kind of a cool concept. Pretty big deal. Watch this over and over. If you need to catch it again, go to thrive15.com. This is Marshall Morris. I am Daniel McKenna. This has been the Daily Hustle. Bam!